hit the record button and start off and see if anybody in the room has any questions they'd like answered. I'm taking that as not so much. Okay, we've got a caller, another Canadian who couldn't be here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Um, and Angie, who's not here today, had a great question, and this is about fingerings, really. But in this case, it's about breeches full of stitches, and it's like, can I leave a finger down, or do I need to move for every note? And it's a great question. And it's one that when you're first starting, it's like you kind of want, if you're the kind of person that likes to show your work, then move, 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 move. But as we play faster and faster, um, the ability to remove a movement, to eliminate a movement, is really useful. Now I could even play that E there and just leave this G. If I want to play the open E, I have to lift that. But the less movements you make, the more this right hand for us right-handers, but not in front of Gary. We're not going to say that. And no, he's not like in a mirror image. He's playing a left-handed ukulele over there. But this picking hand then becomes like the singing voice, and it's igniting the sound. If and the cool thing with this, and I think Angie in her question said that it would be kind of like the drone of a sustain pedal on a piano, and it would be. Except, does this sound like a piano? So because of this sound, like if I play this, like that's as long as I can get to sustain. That's not gonna clash with much. It's a short throw instrument, sustain wise. So my advice is to get the maximum stretch out of notes. And if it were on another instrument, it might not work. But with the ukulele, because the sustain is, it's like if it were a cello ensemble, it would be a nightmare. Because all these notes would be ringing into each other, and there would be so much sustain. But this instrument, sustain is not the problem of this instrument. So in that way, it gives us an opportunity to get a this idea of static and dynamic fingers. Everything that can just sit there. This then shows me that this is the second position. I'm right here, kind of living there, and that happens to be a G. That happens to be the key of the song. And if I was playing a G chord, it would all fall around that, and that helps cement that in my mind, the connection to the shape. So that's my advice to you. Oh, okay. Oh, Janet, you are a lefty. I didn't notice. Wow. And you and Gary are next to each other on my screen. Interesting. Perfect. Cool. And so sometimes, without the ability to be in the room with people, I feel like I often over answer questions because there's no one feedback or no one to stop me. But I certainly feel like I answered that question. Any other questions? Was there picking any of the Satya? You got something?
This isn't really a question. It's more like a sort of segue to what you just talked about. And on that same melody, I chose at the very last note in the B part, instead of playing the D there,
Yeah.
it was much easier to pick it out there.
It goes to E there, and there's even an E there.
It was easier for me.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, yeah, right there. And that's the definitely like season to taste kind of nature of the stuff. And for one person, it might be easier to play that D on the fourth string. For others, it might be more natural on the third string. Um, just play the D. You know, that's what we want. Don't play a C sharp or E flat. Play a D, and it'll work out. Um, Finding these other places to play the notes just expands the instrument, expands our minds, and gives us more possibilities. And something tells me that you guys are here for more possibilities with the ukulele. So that's great. Well, without further ado, I'll just jump into what we're doing. And I know I'll just circle back to where we have been, you know, last week, and just still working on this alternate picking idea of whatever note you want to. You can just try to find a note and play down, up, two, and three, and four, and just to work on this right hand. If you just want to work on percussion, you could mute it. You could do it on a baritone, you could do it on a banjo, you could high G, low G, whatever. D6 tuning, C6 tuning, but just getting the mechanics of that. I don't think anyone's in danger, including me, of getting too good at that. And just kind of keeping that going and connecting with music while you do it. And I love just to put on a tune and play along with that. Now the other thing is the triplet, and that down up down down up down, 1 2 3 4 1 2, and just getting the mechanics down up down down up, triple it. We're not really using them yet, but um, we will, and it's really good to get prepared for those. Just messing around with those, really good. There's exercises in the book, of course, that you can do, and there are exercises on Sound Slice as well. So you've got tons of options with that. But this is one of the things I love about this music, is that it's just without, you know, you could play other parts, but if you're gonna play the tune, at some point you're gonna confront the triplet, and the earlier we get into it, the better. Now, if you just want to strum chords or just try to play more simple baritone counterpoint, no problems. But the triplets really give us, I think, the true essence of this music. All right. Well, I'm going to get into the Bally Desmond polka, and I'm going to get into, I should have done this. Wait a minute. I'm not as far off as I thought. Well, maybe I am. I'm further off than I thought. But let me. I'm just gonna log into my own darn site here and show you something that I've added. Um, and just like you, I have to log in myself. Okay, let me screen share this with you. And hold on. All right, so regular stuff, videos, whatever, but Ballet Desmond Polka now has what's called a beginner-friendly version. Includes tab and notation. With the B section, I don't know why it just occurred to me the other day. I was like, that one could go an octave lower in this key. I'm not used to doing these in like A minor. So you've got that there. And if you're wondering, well, what is that? Let me get there and do a screen share for that. And now I've also tabbed this out to be a little bit more beginner friendly in that we're not trying to occupy higher positions, but utilize the open strings. And so we get a lot of A's in a row, the same A's. Instead of going up an octave, that B section is. And you need the low G for that octave. Or otherwise it sounds like. Not the worst sound in the world, not bad, but to have the notes that are written here, the low G really helps. And to play, I'll just play the whole thing here. I think that'll be might be a little easier. And I think I was inspired by Polk's comment about trying to get the notes out of his uke at the 12th and 14th frets. And that it just when I looked at the range of it, I was like, you can do an octave lower real easy.
Hey, thank you, Kevin. You've made my day here.
There you go. That's what I'm here for.
Right.
At the Kevin Carroll Make a Wish Celtic Ukulele Foundation. Yes, Carla, is that you?
Yeah, so I had a question about this music in general, the Celtic music. So a lot of it we've been playing higher.
Yeah,
But with the Celtic music, is it always played that high? Because it sounds just kind of plinky plink up there.
sure.
Whereas this one, with it down an octave, it just sounds so rich
Right.
and flavorful.
Yeah, so the music itself, like the pure music, would be the A section, wherever it is, the B section goes up. On our instruments, it is this plinky sound. And so to adapt it, we rarely can in the key of D go down because of the range of notes that it's using. We just lose them, or else we end up flipping the octave, which I know Margaret here plays. What do you, a recorder flute, something you blow into, yeah, one of those things. And it's so because the ranges are like on a tin whistle, they'll flip the thing where they have a limited range. So it's the B section that starts to go up and then it goes down an octave, whatever fits the range. But I've tried not to get into that complexity. But yeah, the music would do that. The other thing that's interesting, if you play this on a baritone, oftentimes you're playing it an octave lower on the A section, but then that B section cuts through nicer, just where you're not at the 12th fret all the time. For that ninth to 12th, ninth to 14th really is kind of where the B sections lie. Does that answer your question, Carla? Yeah. All right, Susanna.
Hello.
Hello.
I've been fiddling around with this song too, and I ended up, wait a minute, I ended up putting it right in the middle, starting on the G that's at the 7th fret, 3rd string.
Uh-huh.
So I can play it right across. And then if I want to vary it, maybe for a measure or two, jump up for high notes, jump down for low notes. But I kind of was concerned because I have a tendency to want to play this music fast. And when I have to go up a string like this, it's hard. But if I can work across the neck in the middle,
Yeah.
that gives me both sides to jump to vary stuff. And it lays real nice right there.
Yeah, and I will say, because I know you, that I know that you have at least put in your 100,000th ukulele notes, if not 100,000th ukulele hour on this, and I think that this. I look at it. It lies here in this A minor chord of 9 9 8 7. And that's how I originally wrote it.
It's good.
And you don't have to move, yeah.
But you know what? When you start in the middle, and you play it through the second time, you can jump up and play it up there, which gives some interest to the ear.
Yeah, and it can change the timbre of it for sure.
Yeah.
If I was a beginner, I might get confused by that. Some people do, some don't. So some people like the travel, the longer journey up and down the neck. It makes them feel like they're getting their money's worth. It's all this. The beauty of it is it's the same notes, so you can choose your own adventure. The thing with tablature is that, I mean, if I wasn't busy, I could just write out like 10 tablatures for every song, because there's so many different ways you could play the same note. But I don't think that would benefit anyone really. But like the notes are the notes. Dun, da, 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 that's the tune. But where they are on your instrument, can vary. But I can only write down one tablature, and so I try to come up with something that works but showing people some options, because once you start to see this, I think it can change the way the instrument looks.
But it helped me learn like where different notes are. I mean, I feel in the last 2 weeks, I've really learned the fretboard better by moving everything around.
Well, I better stop that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, whatever we're doing here, this is insane. That's great. I'm happy to hear it. Well, so you've got that. If it serves you well, take it. If you wanted to kind of combine those, I didn't do that. I'll just do it. I'll try it by ear, by memory. And I think this might be what Susanna was saying. that, going down for the second octave instead of. They're the same notes, just different octaves. And it can really vary. You know, it's probably going to be pretty plinky, even on the best of ukes, all the way up there, because the scale is so short. However, there's a great beauty in taking the difficult road of making your instrument sing. And when you can make it sing at the 12th and 14th fret, and then you come down to the second and third fret, you're like, oh, this is easy money. It can actually improve your playing in that way. Cool. Well, I'm gonna jump into this tune. They say tune over there in the Celtic Isles. Not tune, but tune. And I'm just gonna continue this process. And I noticed in Canada, process and resource. But I'm going to just play all the parts of the Ballydesmond polka at 68 beats per minute. You can play along, you can do whatever. I'll do one at a time. I'm going to take, I'm just going to start at the bottom of my page, which is chords 2. And it'd be something like this. Oh, and I'm going to, hold on, I've got to learn. I'm learning. I'll pin my video. Somebody will thank me for that. Okay. And Ballydesmond polka. And I'm only going to get a 2 count. Here's the tempo, just so if you're playing along. So it'll be like that. One of those deals. 1, 2, and I'm just playing on the beat. I'm kind of playing the cowboy chord versions. Kind of the easy E minor. Gentle thumb strum seems appropriate at this tempo. And there's that. If I was playing this, let's say at a much, let's say like close to double tempo, like 125. I might start to strum with my nail. That first beat an accent. Anyway, you get kind of an idea there. There is this this thing that happens in slow motion that can neutralize like the genetic material of the song. Dun, da, dun, 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 dun. It's arguable. That may not be the Ballydesmond polka anymore. But we're working on it, getting up to speed. I say this especially to bass players because the hand positions can be really tricky. But I'd say to anybody, playing below your comfort level is usually the sweet spot for adults and those that are not in the thrill-seeking personality type. Now, playing like right at their comfort level where they can just barely do it, I would recommend more. But and maybe doing all of them. You know, go a little below, right at, and definitely above. The thing that happens when you do it above is your brain has to think differently, and your hand has to react differently, and you keep track of the music. But I've seen people make much larger connections with what their hand are doing at high tempos than I have at low tempos. So it's just something to think about, because you get to the point where your hand surpasses your cognition. The hand-ear coordination goes beyond the you know, where as if, and I'll throw this this homespun homily on music mental processing a bit, but I think that oftentimes, especially with adults, and it makes sense that there's this idea that I'm reading these notes, I'm looking at something, and here's these notes, and it's gonna come in my eyes, it's gonna go into my brain, I'm gonna understand it fully, and then it's gonna come out my body, and it'll sound like the Ballydesmond polka. Just like everything else in life. Just like if I was reading the paper, music does not work like that. The sounds already really exist on some level. The paper is just a weird symbology to show you what those sound like and to preserve them, and so anyone could play them. The thing that we want to get is that our hands have to do it, and our ears have to tell us if it's right or not. And to get that, it's not so much a mental process. With all the teaching I've done in the past 10 years, and I should add it up, but there's no way I've taught less than 10,000 hours in the last 10 years. The thing that I see and hear with music is that you make the sound and then you understand it. And so often adults, especially if we're in a room together, everybody wants to impress others, so they don't play because they're afraid to make the sound. The only way to do this, we're making sound, and you have to make the sound in your own way. And one of the things I love about this format that I wouldn't trade in the world is I see Gina's playing the tune right now. Carl is, and that is so beautiful. Everybody can learn at their own pace, and it's really cool. And I've had people tell me, oh yeah, I just worked on the first thing you said the whole hour. And it's like, oh, awesome. And it worked great for me. And I ended up muting the group for a while. You know, it's like everyone can learn their own way. But again, at the risk of over teaching that idea, but music is going to come out, you're going to get it here, then you get it here. It's not like you understand it all unless you've gotten to a high level at another instrument, or you're just like hyper musically inclined mentally. The sound comes out and then you go, oh, that's what it's, oh, okay. I do this with these hands. I get that. Got it. So think about that. And listen. And there's something to be said for playing it faster that expedites that process. I don't understand it, but I believe it happens. Okay. Now this chords one part is even less. So I'm going to keep it at this tempo, but I love this for these Celtic tunes, and I'm going to show you if I can do this correctly. I think I can. A way that this tune might be heard, and I'll keep it at the fast tempo, but it might be played just on one instrument by itself the first time, and then maybe another instrument would join, maybe on the second time. And it would kind of layer, but people could listen to it and hear their parts. But there's a beauty between just these really elemental chords and the tune. Oh, whoops. That's a different song, wasn't it? I put these two together. Just so nobody freaks out too much. I'll split the difference a bit and go down to like 80. All right, and I'll just play along with this. I'll throw in the whole kit and caboodle, but the with only this chord part, and really kind of making it real definitive and heavy. 1, 1, 2. This can really help the group know where 1 is. 1, 2, 1, 2. Different sound with the nail also. So that gives us the chord parts there. I'll jump around, give your ears a chance to hear something else. If somebody, I have so many screens and toggles and all this stuff. If anybody has a question, just unmute yourself and play a Celtic chord or yell in Gaelic, and I'll answer your questions. But I'm gonna jump over to the tune on baritone, and it sounds really cool. And the way these things are on baritone, all in the first position there, or yeah, first position, because I have one note on the first fret. That B section. This lays out real simple, really nice, and I really, I think baritone is kind of the secret weapon with Celtic ukulele. So here, let me hold on. Sorry. Here we go. Here is the melody on baritone. Picture down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, sounds kind of cool. Something that I might add to that is, instead of playing it like all completely like the Leonard Nimoy version of it, or the yeah, like the equal opportunity. Every note kind of gets the same weight. However, if I choose the first beat to accent, it kind of pops. And it kind of has a little more life to it, and feeling the dances that go along with these. And that's a thing I know really nothing about, except that dances go with these. And so that means that there are predetermined dances that would go with this tune. And so if the dancers can't dance to it, you're not playing it right. And I would love to, have really all of my classes have a dance class adjoining, and so that we could make sure we're on the right page. Anyway, that's the tune there on the baritone. I think it sounds kind of nice. Here is a really simple counterpoint part on baritone. And I'm I don't know if I've showed you this yet. I love this wild shell-backed instrument I got from Ray Vincent up in Canada when I was at the Royal City Ukulele Fest that Cynthia Kinnunen puts on. Really cool. And he, it's just such an unusual instrument, and one of those things where it just happens. It hadn't happened to me in quite some time, where you just pick up an instrument and it's like, this is gonna be mine soon. So this is a baritone, and it is so in the baritone tuning. If we don't know, D G E, no, B E. D, G, B, E, sorry. The top four strings of a guitar. This one has an octave, a low octave, high octave D, so, and a unison G. That's the same low G that'd be on a low G uke. Unison, unison. So just this one kind of like a 12 string. I used to have a friend that played a 9-string guitar, which was, he just didn't double up the top 3 strings of the guitar, so he had the octave sound. So this is kind of like his guitar, but it's a cool sound. So I'm going to play this little baritone part that is called, what is it called? Barry 1. And here it goes. And just so you get a sound. The main reason I had to get this is that it's so like a bazooki, if you will, but it's a sound that I wanted to add to this, and it's great for counterpoint. All right, and here's this part. 1, 2. I can kind of mess with it. got that, and it just adds this this element that I think must have entered Celtic music during the possibly Baroque times when counterpoint became kind of the rage in Europe, I would imagine. And Laura Lean, what did you say? This is more the Kaylee dance step version. Okay. So is there a Kaylee dance step for polkas that you know of, Laura Lean? Let me find you.
I turned my mute off. Yeah, I used to when I was younger and before I got old and decrepit. I used to do Irish step dance and Irish Kaylee social dancing.
Uh-huh.
So the version you played where you emphasized the first note, but faster, would be how it would be danced at a social dance.
Yeah.
Because every time you hit that beat, people when they're dancing will hop on their foot, and I mean it's a really energetic, tiring dance.
Yeah.
So the Valley Desmond polka is, as you said, a set. That's a set dance, and there are certain steps, and I can't remember how many figures, but each figure would have a different tune to it.
Yeah.
And there's a Valley Desmond 1 and a Valley Desmond 2. It's been a while since I did this, so I don't remember all the steps, but
Oh, cool.
it's very fast. It's very, very fast. And when you hit that emphasis on the first beat of every bar is where you really come down on your feet flying around the circle with, 7 other people. So there's 8 people in a set.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it feels like
so
there's some energy also in coming down, but then getting off of that step. One, ba-da-da-da-da-da, bum, ba-da-da-da.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Really.
very frequently when you're doing the first beat, you'll be hopping into the circle and then you'll be hopping out of the circle. So you're hopping in, hopping out constantly and going around the circle all the time. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'd like to know more about it. I'd like to experience it. The thing, people have Celtic sessions, or they'll call it like a slow session. I think for most, if not all of us, I don't know if we could cut it at a slow session. And so it just gives me the tempos, probably for this that'd probably be a slow session where and these songs then last like 25 seconds, the tune to get AABB it's so quick. It just gives me an idea. I'm kind of free associating, but I don't hear the word decrepit often enough, and I know that the age of those people that do those dances is not the age of the people that are in this class tonight, and it just
No, they tend to be older. They tend to be older.
Yeah.
I got decrepit. I got injured actually doing
wow.
Irish dance. I tore and injured things that now make it kind of painful.
Yeah.
So
Well, it just
I
gave me the
suffered
idea.
for the dance.
Yeah.
Maybe we need slow Irish for seniors.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, is that the tempos that we would play it at on ukulele would probably be really danceable for seniors.
I'd rather do that than go to the gym.
Well, here we go. We got a new thing. I like it. All right,
If you go to YouTube, you can find someone who has filmed this particular polka being danced.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. Very cool. Well, I love this. How fun. I'm going to jump up to Harmony 2, and then Harmony 1, and then the melody of this here tune. And just like in scanning the horizon of this part, the lowest note I see is the low A on a low G uke on the 2nd fret. The highest note I see is the 5th fret of the A string. So I know I can just camp out between the 2nd and I'll switch ukes. I like these Blackbird ukes, are pretty cool. I've got my semi-Celtic strap here. But these ukes are really cool. They're not made of wood. They're made of this thing called E-Coa that has natural fibers and is saving the ecology. They are loud and really, I like them for gypsy jazz and Celtic music a lot. So I'll play this part, this harmony too, and I'll slow my Mustang down a little bit here. I'll pop it down to 70. And here I go. 1, 2. So the rhythm is mostly parallel to the melody. And I'll give you a chance to hear this slightly, just a less filled out way, with only the melody, and you'll hear me playing it instead of the machine. Sorry. Just kind of get an idea that you can use these harmonies in all kinds of ways. Here is, I'll keep that harmony in, and I'm going to add this harmony, the first harmony, and you can just hear what this one has a really wide span from the low C, or really the B. The low B is the lowest note, and the highest note goes all the way 10th fret. Yeah. And here this one goes. 1, 2. Sorry.
No.
And if I'm just going to pause for a second and make sure that you all are muted if you can be.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's me.
No worries. Adds to the pub feel, which is nice. The humanity. I'm going to try this one again. I should have practiced it beforehand. Here it is. 1, 2. shift up. That's kind of a cool involved harmony with this, but these are good practice. If you're new to this game, I think Harmony 2 would be a great place to start, then Harmony 3, and then you're ready for the tune. And I'll play it a few times, and I'm gonna bring the band back. Hold on. I'll bring the whole crew, and here I go. 1, 2. In the practice of my preaching, I'm just going to kick it up 10 beats and do it again, and see where this might get a little more fluid, gelatinous, out of control. I'm just going to keep adding 10 beats. So this is the same thing at 80. Play whatever part you can muster and play along. Here we go. 1, 2. So there's that, a little different. And here it is at 90. So I'm just going to keep adding 10. And here we go. 1, 2. Now it's starting to feel more real. And there's this little pop that happens at 90 that doesn't happen below that. My guess is it becomes more pronounced at around 100. But who would we be if we didn't try? All right, here we go. Ballet Desmond Polka at 100. That'll sound like this. 1, 2. it's so. I want to point out. Hey, nobody's been voted off the island yet, so we're still doing well. What was I going to say? Oh, so you may say, hey, I'm playing the melody at 60. I'm playing the first harmony at 70. I'm playing the second harmony at 80. I'm playing chords 2 at 90. I'm playing chords 1 at 100 or above. So this gives us a chance to get, or you're just like, nope, I'm going to play uke 1. I'm going to get this melody and I don't care. You can do it either way. But I just encourage people to do the crash and burn technique, which I'm soon gonna demonstrate for you, and that is just keep playing it until you get to the tempo. As Laura Lean's telling us here, 120 to 130 is just around the corner. But first, I'd like to experience 110, and here it is. And there's something, this gives us an idea that this was once new music, exciting, cutting-edge music to people, and these speeds of this make it very exciting in the way that the Yardbirds were in 1966 in London or something. It's like this was rock and roll at one point. All right, 2. I could play that all night. Oh, it's still going. And so, perfect example there. It got so exciting that I forgot to count to 2. And that's and I think if you had counted to 2 at the pub, it'd be easy to forget where you are in these songs. But here it is at 120. We'll just keep pushing it. Here we go. 1, 2. And just because it's Wednesday,
That's smoking the real stuff there.
yeah. Here we are. I'll switch ukes just to give you a different sound. I don't know. Here it is at 130. Okay. And this can be quick, isn't it? 1, 2. It only gets better. There is something is happening though where I have to let go. I can't really I just have to play it and go with it and go with the rhythm of it. Now, the tempo that you can play is not going to be this hand or the fretting hand. It's the picking hand, and so that can usually go pretty fast. This hand usually doesn't have that much trouble keeping up. There's something that will happen if you don't have your fingering figured out. Playing it too fast is going to just knock you out of the music. Once you get the fingering going, then you can just keep speeding it up, and you're not thinking so much, and it becomes really musical. But that's a lot of fun, and as they would say, crack kind of fun, spirited frivolity, CRAIC. I remember hearing, I'm only in it for the crack, and I thought they were talking about something completely different. So it's kind of a famous Celtic saying there. Let me remove this again and get back to gallery view here so I can see everybody. Any closing arguments? Anything? Anybody want to play a different tune? Play this one again at a certain tempo? Any rebuttals? Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Kevin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, along with what you just said there about playing it fast, if you're, it's a coordination, right, between that left and right. The pick, you've got to get those fingers synced together.
Yeah.
What do you do if you get off? How do you get? Is there a way to get back on? You get back on the beat.
Yes, yeah. I'm glad you said that. I kind of had this vague thought passing through my mind going about that. A couple of things. By playing it too fast, you're gonna lose, unless you've just got a really amazing mind that I don't have. You're gonna lose the ability to have cognition of every detail that's happening at a breakneck speed. So then you just have to go with the music. But that is where you know the tune. If you don't know the tune and you get lost, you're dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what are you doing? If you know the tune, you just rejoin it. And stop moving this for a second and then rejoin it.
And you try to pick it up on the down when you rejoin like
absolutely.
that. Try to pick it up on the down beat.
Where you know where the tune is and where you are. Now that might mean, getting lost at 70 beats for you might be perfect. And for Charlie, he might need to do that at 85 to kind of get back on, whatever. But you find, 120 might be too much. But I think it's great practice to get lost. It's going to happen. And that goes along with this idea that, well, I'm reading the music, I've got it, it comes in here, and I'm doing it correctly. That just isn't going to fly on the street. It's not really music. And you're going to get lost. And so if you don't practice getting lost, you can't get the redemption that comes with finding your way back. But to me, it's the tune. And then and sometimes you just wait until you know where you're at, and coming in. But yeah, I would, unless I really knew the tune, and if it was a different kind of music, this music almost always, well, not always, but so much of the time starts on beat 1 on the downbeat. But if it were a pickup, then I might start there. But yeah, I'd probably come in just where I knew it was, but it's got to be here. I would say it's even good practice humming the tunes with a metronome. Dun, 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 dun. That's harder than dun, 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 dun. And you just kind of get this thing too where your hands find it because your mind gets out of the way because your mind can't keep up. And I think that's can be a cool outcome from that approach. My thoughts is that we should take another week and really play next week. and I would like to hear you play. And so we've taught the Ballydesmond polka and Bridges Full of Stitches, and I think it'd be fun for us to be able to have some sense of playing together. Hear some voices other than my own, and try to play at whatever tempo, whatever part you want to play. Um, Both the group and I can help you the most if we hear you. And you can help the group the most if we hear you. So that's my challenge to you. I am taking election week off, and so we'll have that week off. And then when we come back, I think we'll get more structured and start kind of going down the line with some other tunes. But for now, I want to make sure we kind of got the learning here. Dina,
Kevin,
yeah.
Kevin, yeah, I do have one question. What you're proposing for next week actually sounds like a whole lot of fun to me, but going back to the knowing the melody in your head,
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it seems like if I want to learn the melody part and then one or two of the harmony parts, when I'm playing the harmony, that's another melody that I have to really know in my head, or I won't be able to play it. I can't have the melody of the song running through my head. I have to have the melody of what I'm playing. So it's like learning 2, 3, or 4 different melodies for each song. If you want to, I'm not doing all that. I'm not playing that many parts, but am I right about how I'm thinking?
Well, of course you're right for you, because that's how it is, and it may not be that way for everybody. I think it's similar for me. The thing I find that the melody is the easiest thing to memorize in the tune, and the harmonies can be really tough. But if you memorize the harmony, you in a way are actually memorizing the melody too, because they're so intertwined, the relationship. And whether you're conscious of it or not, I think that relationship is happening there. But yeah, it definitely. And I think to answer Polk's question, the whatever part you're playing, you need to have it in your head to some degree, which means you have to play it more times than you might want to admit. In a Celtic ukulele support group. And that's the thing I just find with this stuff is that it's like, oh yeah, I got it, and they're like, oh, I don't got it. Okay, I'll do it twice as much, and you're like, I almost have it. I'll do it 4 times as much. I just about got it. I'll do it 10 times as much. Oh, now I think I've got it. Then you go into a situation with other people, hear other things, and they're like, I barely have it, But I think we each find how many times we need to play a tune and how good we need to be at playing it by ourselves in our controlled environment. And that's why I think playing together will be really fun. And we'll add that component more. And then we'll get into Morrison's Jig, which is the one tune I don't want to arrange at all. And we're going to arrange it on the fly together after our week off. And so that'll be really fun. And I don't think we'll do it on paper at all. It'll all be by ear and more oral and traditional in that way. Well, if there's no further rebuttals or arguments, court is adjourned. And I'll see y'all next week. Thanks so much. Great to see
Thank
you.
you, Kevin.
So much fun.
Woo!
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, thank you. Yeah, good to see y'all. Good to see you,
Thanks a
Craig.
lot.
All right.